This next video dates back to 2012 and was recorded by a man during a tourist trip to an old castle hidden in the mountains of France. He was exploring the castle with other visitors and filming the surroundings, likely just trying to capture memories from the trip. But while recording inside the old castle, his camera accidentally captured something frightening, something no one seemed to notice at the time. Let's watch the footage.
That's the fire. There's the guns.
Suddenly, a tall, semi-transparent figure appears in the shot. It looks almost like the shape of a large man standing there. Then, within moments, it vanishes in the blink of an eye, as if it had never been there at all. None of the people inside the castle seemed to react to the figure while it was happening. It was only later, when the man reviewed the footage from his trip, that he noticed the strange entity. So what do you think? Was this a real ghost captured inside an old French castle? Or is there another explanation for what appeared in the video?
There's the guns.
A man named Kenneth from Oklahoma recently turned to TikTok to share what he believes may be a haunting inside his apartment. According to Kenneth, he often feels a dark presence nearby, something he believes could be the spirit of a child. His dog also reacts to things Kenneth cannot see, suddenly becoming scared for no clear reason. Kenneth claims he has seen objects move on their own more than once, and after dealing with the strange activity for a while, he finally decided to start recording whenever something unusual happened. And so far, what he has captured is not easy to explain.
I swear to God, that thing is moving. Watch that, babe. Is that moving? Ooh! Holy shit.
While sitting in his living room, Kenneth noticed something strange from the corner of his eye. A spray bottle sitting on the table appeared to shift slightly. At first, it was subtle, but when Kenneth focused his camera on it, the bottle began sliding across the table by itself, slowly inching closer and closer to the edge. Then, without warning, it suddenly shoots forward and crashes to the floor. The way it moves does not look natural. It does not look like it simply slipped. And in the days that followed, the activity inside Kenneth's apartment only became stranger.
Yeah, it's definitely moving.
We're looking for the mothership.
Even more mysterious.
Come on, focus.
None of Jessica's other cameras pick the figure up.
That camera usually catches anybody walking in and
I
out.
even got something down there.
The camera over the door did not catch anywhere.
That's not
at all.
jamming.
Now the camera in the backyard.
Yeah, it is. I need the light.
Pick up anything either.
And as for any other cameras in the area,
The hell?
The neighbor from right across the street. I
mean, look
tried
at
to
that.
look through her videos and nothing showed up.
It's super weird, but also intriguing and compelling to me.
Oh.
Other security
Oh.
One night, while lying in bed, Kenneth noticed his bedroom door moving slightly. He grabbed his phone and started recording. Moments later, the door slowly began to swing shut. But here is the strange part. Kenneth had placed an object in front of the door to stop it from moving. The door should not have been able to close like that. Still, It pushed forward until it pressed against the object. Kenneth still does not know what is happening inside his apartment. But at this point, it might be time to buy some sage, grab some holy water, or maybe skip straight to calling someone who knows how to handle a serious haunting. On June 3rd, 2026, a woman named Eleanor captured something on her CCTV camera that she still cannot explain. Eleanor lives with her husband in a farmhouse located in a secluded area, far away from nearby homes or busy roads. Most nights are quiet there, but on this particular night, that silence was suddenly broken. Out of nowhere, Eleanor heard a loud bang outside the house. Her husband immediately went outside to check what caused it. But when Eleanor reviewed the security camera footage afterward, she noticed something strange near the trees. Take a look. At the top of one of the trees, a strange glowing object can be seen moving in the darkness. Whatever it is, it almost blends into the branches. But if you watch closely, it appears to hide behind the tree right as Elena's husband steps outside to inspect the noise. Her husband says he did not see or hear anything unusual while he was outside. But after watching the footage, Eleanor and her family were left with more questions than answers. So what exactly was that thing in the tree? Was it some kind of unexplained light, a strange creature, or something paranormal watching from the darkness? And could it have been responsible for the sudden bang outside their home? Let me know what you think in the comments. Recently, On March 17th, 2025, a girl posted a terrifying video that quickly went viral, gaining more than 7 million views in a short time. In the footage, the girl is with a large group of friends on a trip through the mountains and forests of the Philippines. At around 5 a.m., two girls stopped for a while to take photos and ended up falling behind the rest of the group. But when they finished and started running to catch up with their friends, something terrifying appeared behind them.
Naliligaw kami, guys! Naliligaw! Wala ni mga kasama namin! Pero yung mga kasama namin, kailangan namin silang habulin kasi maliligaw kami. Gagi, malayo na sila. Wala na.
As the two girls run along the path, a strange black figure can be seen directly behind them. It appears to chase them for several moments. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure disappears. When the footage is slowed down and viewed more clearly, the shape looks completely black, almost semi-transparent, and has no visible features, no face, no clothing, no clear body detail, just a dark figure moving behind them in the early morning light.
Naliligaw kami, guys! Naliligaw! Wala ni mga kasama namin! Pero yung mga kasama namin, kailangan namin silang habulin.
The girl says that she and her friend were completely alone at that moment. She also says they did not notice the figure while they were running and only saw it later after watching the video back. To this day, they have no idea who or what was behind them. So what do you think? Was it a real person chasing them through the forest? Or did they capture something paranormal moving through the mountains of the Philippines?
Naliligaw kami, guys! Naliligaw! Wala ni mga kasama namin! Pero yung mga kasama namin, kailangan namin silang habulin.
This next clip was recorded inside what looks like an old cabin or shed late at night. A single light shines through the darkness, just enough to reveal a worn wooden door with peeling paint. The person holding the phone does not seem to be searching for anything paranormal. But then, something near the top of the doorframe catches their attention, and it is enough to make anyone uncomfortable. From behind the wall, a thick moving mass begins to appear. It is a swarm of harvestmen, thin-legged arachnids often called daddy longlegs. Hundreds of them crawl over each other, forming a living, shifting carpet across the top of the doorway. And if you keep watching, one of them eventually drops down before disappearing back into the swarm. Now, some viewers say this is completely natural behavior. These creatures sometimes gather together in sheltered areas, especially in dark, quiet places. But others find the timing and location unsettling. In certain folk beliefs, a sudden gathering of creatures inside a home can be seen as a sign that something has drawn them there. So maybe this was just nature doing what nature does. Or maybe something inside that cabin was attracting more than just insects. While working a shift inside a warehouse, a man named Jay noticed something strange from the corner of his eye. It was only a quick glimpse, but it was enough to make him stop and look twice. Feeling uneasy, Jay pulled out his phone and began recording, hoping to capture whatever he had just seen. At first, nothing unusual happened, but then it happened again, and this time it happened right in front of the camera. In the footage, a man can be seen walking out through an open doorway. At first, there is nothing strange about it, but moments later, the same man appears to return, and as he steps back through the doorway, his body seems to fade away. The farther he walks inside, the more he appears to disappear, almost like he is vanishing from reality itself. The strange footage immediately leaves Jay confused. He looks around the warehouse in disbelief, almost as if he's wondering whether anyone else just saw what he saw. After watching the video multiple times, Jay still cannot explain it. Some viewers think it could be an optical illusion caused by the lighting and camera angle. Others believe it looks like a glitch in the Matrix. And of course, some think this may be something paranormal. Maybe even a ghost caught on camera. But what do you think? Was it just a trick of the light? Or did Jay record something that should not have been there? A man claims he had recently started hearing strange noises inside his home. He also says he began seeing objects move on their own. But when he told people about it, no one believed him, so he decided to start recording whenever something strange happened. One day, while he was home alone, he heard a strange noise coming from his bedroom. He grabbed his phone, started filming, and went to investigate. But what happened next was terrifying.
Whoa, what the Man, this is too freaky. Way too freaky.
Suddenly, objects inside the room begin moving on their own. But the most horrifying moment happens when the man turns toward the TV. Behind him, a strange creature-like figure appears, slowly moving in the background. The man quickly turns around. But there is nothing there. No person, no creature, no explanation. After this, the man becomes convinced that his house is haunted. So what do you think? Was this real paranormal activity caught on camera? Or is there something else going on inside that home?
Whoa, what the
In this next creepy video, two men are exploring what appears to be an abandoned building at night. The room they enter looks old and decayed, with dirty pale walls and a pair of worn green double doors that barely seem to be holding together. The man standing on camera had just told the person filming that he saw someone inside the room. That alone was enough to make the moment feel tense. He reaches toward the doorway, touches a thin wire stretched across the entrance, then slowly pushes one of the doors open to look inside the darkness.
मैंने भी यहाँ किसी को देखा इसमें ये क्या हो रहा है ये अपने आप कैसे हो रहा है देखते हैं रुको रुको मामू अंदर से कुछ यहाँ सही नहीं है मामू नहीं हमें यहाँ रहना चाहिए हमें चलना चाहिए यहाँ से जाल में देख इधर से देख
The second his hand gets close to the door, it suddenly slams shut with violent force. It happens fast, far too fast to feel like a gentle draft or a loose hinge. The man immediately jumps back, shocked, asking how the door could have closed by itself. Then he presses his hand to his chest, clearly shaken. A few moments later, strange sounds begin coming from behind the closed doors. And that is when he tells the cameraman they need to leave. Some viewers believe the door may have slammed because of wind, a draft, or a broken hinge. But when you watch the speed and force of that movement, that explanation becomes harder to accept. Others believe something inside the abandoned building was warning them not to go any farther. So, what do you think was behind those doors? Was it just an old building reacting to the air? Or did they almost walk into something they were not supposed to see? A man in Indonesia was heading home after a long day at work when he decided to take a shortcut through a cemetery. It was a route he had taken many times before, but on this night, the graveyard felt different. As he walked between the graves, he began to feel like something was following him. The feeling grew stronger with every step. Unsettled, he pulled out his phone and started recording. And what he captured is truly disturbing.
Tubruk. Satu. Tubruk. Satu. Dua. Sarama. Anjing. Mana euy? Tukangeun. Bawa euy ancrop ka handap euy. Ya, nyumput di dia dia. Nyumput di luhur. Di luhur mah tangkal awi.
Suddenly, a strange figure appears directly in front of him, blocking his path. At first, the man seems to think it is just another person standing in the cemetery, so he keeps walking toward it. But then, as he gets closer, the most chilling part of the footage happens. The figure appears to vanish right as he passes through the spot where it was standing. Terrified, the man runs home. Later, after looking into the history of the cemetery, he reportedly found stories from local residents who claim to have seen the spirit of a woman wandering the grounds alone at night. For him, there was no doubt that he had encountered something that no longer belonged to the living world. But what do you think? Was this just an illusion caused by darkness, distance, and perspective? Or did this man truly come face to face with something paranormal that night? On March 1st, a woman named Rachel and her husband Rocky moved into a new house with their 2 kids. At first, everything seemed normal. But not long after settling in, strange things began happening around the home. Rachel says they started hearing unexplained bumps, knocks, and sounds coming from different rooms. Then, almost every morning, she would walk into the kitchen and find one of the cabinets wide open, even though she knew they had all been closed the night before. At first, it was easy to question whether someone had simply forgotten. But after it kept happening, Rachel decided to start recording the strange activity inside the house. And instead of finding a normal explanation, things only became more disturbing.
What is that? Rocky! Rocky! Rocky!
What?
The chair was moving. Do you see it?
Again?
What do you mean again?
What happened yesterday, too?
I'm not watching. I'm not watching. It's always cold. It's always cold in here. I'm not watching. I'm not doing it. Nope, we're done. You can just hide with me under the blanket. It'll be fine.
One day, while sitting in the living room, Rachel noticed a small rocking chair moving on its own. It was slowly rocking back and forth, almost as if someone invisible was sitting in it. According to Rocky, this was not the first time the little chair had moved by itself. A few weeks later, Rachel was home alone when she suddenly felt like someone was watching her. The feeling became so strong that she rushed upstairs, trying to get away from it. But the uneasy feeling did not leave. She started recording, and without realizing it, she captured something chilling.
So I smell something that smells like burnt cotton candy. And this is the first time I've actually felt like I've been followed up the stairs. Nope.
As Rachel stepped away from the stairs, a strange whistle suddenly echoed from somewhere nearby. What makes this even creepier is that Rachel says she never heard the whistle in the moment. Even though it is clear in the recording, she had no idea it happened until she watched the footage back later. And the timing is what makes it so unsettling. The whistle happens right as Rachel begins walking away, almost as if something unseen was trying to get her attention, or maybe trying to call her back. 2 weeks later, Rachel was sitting alone in the living room when a sudden loud bang came from the kitchen. The sound instantly made her stomach drop. By now, that noise had become familiar, and Rachel had a feeling she already knew what she was about to find. So she grabbed her phone and started recording. What happened next is difficult to explain.
I heard a noise from the kitchen, and I came into the kitchen, and I noticed 2 of the cabinets open. I gotta get Rocky. Rocky! Come here, hurry.
What?
Hurry, come here! I was sitting right here, watching La Brea, sitting in the chair, and I heard... Rocket, listen to me! I was sitting in the chair, watching La Brea, and I heard noises from the kitchen, and look. No, look! When I was just in here and there were only 2 cabinets open.
Come on.
No. See, I will show you the video. I literally took the video. I was in here. There were only 2 open.
Well, you dropped the F-bomb, so you must be serious.
Rachel walks into the kitchen and sees that 2 cabinet doors have opened on their own. Shaken, she quickly calls for Rocky and rushes to show him what happened. But by the time they both return to the kitchen, the situation has become even stranger. Nearly every cabinet door is now wide open. Out of everything Rachel has recorded so far, this seems to be the most intense paranormal activity in the house. Thankfully, whatever is causing these disturbances does not appear to be violent. At least, not yet. A small rocking chair moving on its own, a mysterious whistle in the hallway, and cabinets opening by themselves may not be the darkest haunting ever recorded. But still, imagine walking into your kitchen at night and seeing every cabinet hanging open. Because honestly, if that happened to me, I would not be checking the cameras. I would already be outside, halfway down the street.
No, look. When I was just in here and there were only 2 cabinets open.